Hey everybody, how's it going? Um, Give me a second. I haven't even got my tea. Crap. I'll be right back. I just set the timer on my last canner and I've still got these to snap. So let me be right with you in a second. I'll be right back. I'll be right there, folks. Sorry. I filled the kettle too full. It's going to take a second. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Sorry, I've got to get I can barely, the first time I sat down after filling the first canner, I wasn't sure my knees were going to bend, honestly. So, just, give me a second here. And I'm going to go get my cup of tea. I'll hide behind the fan. Yeah, make sure you're on live chat, not top chat. Hey, Melody Ray, I'm going to can peppers. Are you doing like pickled peppers? Oh, I think Gracie wants to come in. All right. Give me a split second, guys. I'm a one-armed, one-legged paper hanger in an ass-kicking contest today. Howie, I talked to Howie. He said his car times are improving, but he red lighted a couple of times in the time trial. So, I'll be right back. I do believe I just heard my kettle turn off. And I gotta get my tea. There's something else I'm missing here. I don't know what it was. Oh, Gracie. Gracie's gotta come in. Pickled Hungarian, then cowboy candy. What on earth is that? All right, I'll be right back. Oh. I'll be right there, folks. I'm really sorry. I'm not as together as I like people to think. I'm not as together as I like people to think. All right, give me a second. This cup's really hot. Doesn't help that there's no handle on it, but it's the biggest cup in the house. Hello. My goodness. Let me say hi to everybody. I'm so sorry. I just didn't want you to wait any longer, and then I realized I didn't have my tea. Gracie was outside. All right, let me say hi. Seychelle, Carol McKinney, Debbie H.S., Faisy, Julie Otson, Melody Ray. Hey, Furby, Paula, 123, Terry White, Trisha B., Trina Bomer, and Heather Finley, Julie Otteson. I think I missed somebody there along the way. So how's everybody doing today? Make sure you're on live chat, not top chat. I'm going to pop my chat out so I can see it better. Apparently my eyes are not as bad as I thought they were. And live chat. Let me just unpause this for a second. Oh, what's going on here? All right. So, anyway. Hey, Mr. Bucky. How's it going? All right. Now, this is the only time I'm going to have to medicate between now and picking Briar up in 5 hours. So I've got to get it into me now, or it won't be safe for me to drive. I'll know how these things work for me. So, new glasses do make a difference. They do. The new ones, they do make a difference. Well, they weren't the new bifocals weren't very great. Or the new bifocals are great because the original bifocals I got done at Zenny and they didn't do a very good job. So I've been kind of like this for 3 years. So I had it open wrong. Oh, hey, Edie. How you doing today, sweetheart? Hey, Furby. South Arc woman, how's it going? There is nothing happening behind the pretty pink fan, except I'm scratching my nose. So, I got up at 7. I made Briar toast and eggs. You can tell I'm missing making breakfast for Howie, because he's been sleeping out the coach. I made Briar toast and eggs, and then I got him canned soup that he could just pop the top and microwave and put it in a bowl and microwave it at work. So I got him a can of soup and I made him a ham sandwich. And then I don't know what we're gonna do for supper, but you know how these things go. But what was I gonna say next? Oh God, I need this tea. Oh, that's my second multi-biscuit tea today. I'm pulling. I'm just so busy. I need 2. So, oh shit, I know what I forgot. I forgot my little box for my snappers. So, I've got 30 pints in. Where's your bone, Gracie? I said that last night on the Freaky Friday, and she went out and she come back in and I heard thunk. Here's her bone. She dropped it to show it to me, but she just came in from outside. She's gonna cool off and have a little snooze in her little cubby there, but don't overdo it. Really, exactly. Please don't overdo it. So I'll just use this lid for now. Or, no, I'll just drop these tops back in the beans. And that way they'll be in the strainer when I'm done. I got 30 pints of beans in 2 canners. Did I say that already? And the last canner is I just started timing. Are you all right, Gracie? Sound like you got a little... She does this now. Every once in a while, she'll cough. I put these in the big crock pot with cold water overnight just to hold them. 20 minutes east of Winchester. Really sore and hurting, but doing peaches. Please, please, please take it easy. Please, please, please. I've got these, my 2 canners. One is done in cooling, and the other one is... Gracie, what is going on with you? What's going on? What? been chewing on that's got you coughing? What's going on? You all right? You got a frog in your throat? You got the coronavirus, Gracie? Have you got the corona? Oh, no. Oh, poor baby. Yeah, mommy, baby. No, oh, your ears need cleaning. They're hot. And they're stinky. Mommy's got to clean your ears tonight. Does that feel good? Feel good? Hey? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. Careful with your thumb. She hurt her thumb getting out of the pool yesterday. Oh. Give me a kiss. All right, go lay down. Go lay down. So good girl. So, if I cut out for a minute, it'll be because my timers on my phone is going to go off. She must, sweetie pie. Yeah. I might actually get her to sleep in the crate tonight just because she's exhausting. But she's comforting too, you know. First night we brought her home, I wanted her to sleep with us. Get her right in there. Like all our dogs sleep with us, when they first come home. And she wiggled. It was April, and it was really hot. And she kept wiggling right down under all the blankets to curl up in this little hot ball at the base of my spine above my butt crack. And it's like, Howie, I can't even reach her. I said, Howie, get the puppy. She's so hot. She's so hot. And he'd pull her back. He'd pull her up and snuggle her up beside him. And then down she'd go behind my bum again. So it's like, oh, man, He had to finally get her on the other. He had to roll over and put himself between me and her. So. Oh, your baby girl. How old's your baby girl, dear? She's coming. How long's it been since you've seen her? So yeah, this is my life today. I'm canning beans. I have, after these two that are in the canners right now, I will probably have one more canner load. And then I think I'll be happy that I have enough canned beans. I only do it every 2 years. I don't can beans, like we just finished our ones from 2018. Where's your bone? Where's your bone? Oh, you've got a hair on your eye. I'm sorry. Come here. Let me see. Let me get that for you. Oh, the baby. Oh, you poor thing. Get that crap out of your eye. Eh? Eh? Get all the crap out of your eyes? Here. All right. Go lay down, sweetheart. No. Go lay down. We've had our snuggle. You go lay down and cool off. So, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So I only do beans every 2 years because I hate, it's not that I hate it. It's just, it's always such a big job that I would just rather do it every 2 years and just dehydrate in the year between, right? So, this is the bean year. And my pole beans haven't even started yet. Like all my bush beans, I'm finished. I'm letting the rest of them go to seed. And beans. Yeah, I got beans coming out my ears. But you know what? I'd rather have beans coming out my ears than have no beans at all. Right? Feast or famine, I'd rather feast. So, when my pole beans come in, I haven't decided whether I'm going to can them or I'll probably dehydrate them. I'll probably dehydrate them to fill up because I'm at like 3/4 of a half-gallon jar of dehydrated beans, so I actually want more. So when the pole beans start coming in, I'll start dehydrating them. But after these beans, I got to start chopping celery. Howie got me 6 and I got 3, so I got 9 things of celery, and I think that will fill up my half-gallon jar, just chock-a-block full, and then the rest I'll be able to put into the mixed jar. Amen to that, yes. Well, beans are something, like I said to Howie, I said, maybe I just won't can any beans this year. Maybe I'll just, do dehydrated. And he goes, I said, I don't think I have enough in the garden to do any real canning of them this year, except maybe the pole beans. And he goes, well, we can always go to the market. Howie loves his beans, man. I actually might can some of these with mushrooms. I got a whole nah, never mind. I got mushrooms, but I have spaghetti sauce to make. See, there's a whole the videos may be hit and miss for the next few days or weeks because I don't know if I'm going to have, like, I got things you've seen before. I got to do more celery. And that you'll see the canning of the celery, but you're not going to see me, all the celery I chopped today and blanch and put on the dehydrators tomorrow, right? So I have many things I have to do that aren't video material. They're just canned. They're just canned mushrooms. And so I'm going to make, I got a deal on canned spaghetti sauce. I got a deal on mushrooms, and I got a deal on canned tomatoes. So guess what? And I've got celery, and I've got peppers. So I got to can my own big heavy-duty veg sauce, right? Hey, Chaos, how's it going? Gotta run. Take care, sweetheart. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy Saturday. Do, 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 do. Put your hand in the hand of the man to still the waters. It's been going through my head for 3 days, so I have to give it voice. Put your hand in the hand of the man who calmed the sea. Maybe a little high for me. Take a look at yourself and you will look at others differently. By putting your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. Every time I look into the holy book, I start to tremble. When I read about the part where the carpenter cleared the temple. That's as far as I got. I'm so tired. But Howie comes home tomorrow, so maybe he'll drive Briar home for me tomorrow night, because Briar doesn't want to stay until Monday. He wants to get off work tomorrow and me to take him straight home. Excuse me. I'm in so much pain from snapping the beans with the rheumatoid arthritis in the bases of my thumbs and constantly stirring them into the cold water with my hand. And the surgical nurse, please pause. Okay, hang on a second, folks. Something just came and I have to look at this. Oh, okay. All right. Yes, pay no attention. Pay attention to the fan, not the person behind it. Oh, there's my timer. I can go shut that canner off now. Oh. 30 pints of beans! Woot! And I probably have enough beans here for another 12 to 15. So that's about right. I like to have about 40, 45 pints in my pantry, because that does us 2 years, me and Howie. Because we don't eat them every day. We don't even eat them once a week, right? Because guess what? How many days a week am I cooking stuff in the crock pot with dehydrated vegetables or canned sauces, right? I think my Miss Silky is broody again. May give her a few eggs. Isn't it late in the season to let her hatch anything? Bev, I got the Presto canner you recommended, and I'm so afraid to use it on my glass stove. Do you think it's okay? Is it a new Presto canner? because new Presto canners are fairly lightweight and they are rated for glass top stoves. Check the box. Pretty sure the new Prestos, how big is it? How big is it? Like, how big is the canner? Because that makes a difference. I used mine on a glass stove, and mine were pretty bloody heavy. I used them on the glass top stove, but you've got to be careful. You have to be careful. Don't slide a full canner around on the glass top. I broke mine that way. Don't drop it. Make sure you put your canner on the burners and then fill them, okay? Just be really, really careful, okay? You can do it. Just be mindful that it is a glass top stove, all right? And don't ever slide your canners around on the glass top, because if there's a flaw in the glass and if there's any kind of divot in your pot, it will just crack it. I have a 16 quart and a 23 quart Presto. Use them on my glass top stoves. There you go, says Terry White, right? 21 liter. Yeah, I have two Presto canners, and one is taller and narrower than the other, and it only holds 14 pints, but my older one holds 16. So like I said, I have 30 on the go right now. I wouldn't do an all-American canner on it. Absolutely not. Not on a glass top stove. For that, you would want to get one of those propane burners. Oh, hang on a second. Just give me a second here. It actually works now. Now listen, these are Canadian prices and some of them are probably really expensive, but this is an idea of some of the stuff I use, some of the stuff I have on my wish list, and you know, these are products that I recommend. You don't have to necessarily buy them from Amazon, but I think I get an affiliation fee or something if you do. So, there you go. Yeah, be careful. I wouldn't do an all-American canner. I would do that with the propane burners that have legs on them. Those are awesome. I'm going to get one of those because I think if I had everything set up, I could just get Howie to put it on there and it'd be easier. But then again, I'm saving my money. My savings account is so empty. I'm saving my money for an all-house generator. The kind that it will just flip. If the power goes off, it'll take about 2 seconds and then the power will all come back on because the generator will kick in and it'll be propane. And if that happens, I'll be getting a propane stove. I'll be canning with gas. Trust me, my kids. Paula. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. I'll be right back. So as soon as these canners are cool enough to open, depends on how many pints I have. I think I have enough for at least a dozen pints, so I'm going to have to use a big canner. I have two large canners, one that does 14 pints, one that does 16 pints, and then I have a small one that does 7 pints or 7 quarts, depending. The generator, oh yeah. I mean, we're getting too old to be mucking about if the power goes out for more than a day in the winter even. Because yeah, we got the wood stove, but the solar panels I got rid of because I didn't want Howie up there mucking about in the winter, right? That man breaks his leg. We're in a world of shit, right? So I have an antique stove in my trailer down the road. I may move to house to use to can if it works. It has coil burners. Well, there you go. So I'm looking, my friends they had a generator done and Now this was a couple of years, 2 years ago, but I figure it's going to cost me about $15,000, between 10 and 15, because they're going to have to pour a pad to hold the propane tank, and then the propane has to be put in and plumbed in, right? Then the generator has to be brought in, tied into the propane, and then all the electrical work for my panel to switch it over whenever the power goes out has to be done. I have to be able to trust that if the power goes out, the generator will do the job. What if Howie is sick, right? What if he's out of town, right? It has to run like that. Boom, power's out. Oh crap, boom, power's back on. There we go. You know what I mean? So it cost my friend like $10,000 to get theirs, because they have to do all that work. By the time I have the money for it, it'll probably be 12 or 13, but I want that bugger in the next 2-3 years. I opened a new 23-quart Presto canner and read and said the weight doesn't jiggle under 15 pounds. That depends if you're using a 15-pound weight. Okay? Always check your manufacturer directions on which slicer are you talking about? Okay? There's the rotating one that is like a very good equivalent of my dollar store one. The one where you can do garlic slices and shreds and ginger shreds and everything. You just put it in the thing and hand crank it. That's my go-to style. But I'm also personally looking at the one that has all the different things, and you put it in and all the different things, and then you hand crank it on the side. So I can't say, but the hand grating one is the one I always use for garlic. It depends on, when it comes to your times, weights, and measures, it depends on how high you are above sea level, too. I am about 200 feet below, I'm about 850 feet above sea level, which means I use a 10-pound weight. If you're above 1,000 feet above sea level, you read the book on, you find out just how far you are above sea level, because your weights, the weights you use, and the times will change, right? I have a 5, 10, and 15-pound weights. Had to buy from Amazon. A 15-pound weight only comes with the Presto canner. Oh, really? I love Presto. I mean, when I first got them, it was called a Wherever pressure canner. Now, this is going back some 25 years. 27 years. The first canner I bought, 26 years. The first canner I bought was called Wherever. And then when I wore that one out, I had to get a Miro. And then Miro became Presto. So I've always had the same kind of canner, right? I've always had the same kind of canner. Just, they just changed names 3 times since I started canning. I love my Prestos. Absolutely. All 3 of my canners are Prestos. I would have, I gave away the 2 All-American canners that were gifted to me, because I'm the type of person who will not use it until my other ones are broken down. And they're just, those things are workhorses. Absolute workhorses, right? I mean, I have another big canner, but I don't use it for actually pressure canning. I use it for pressure cooking because it's old and the gasket doesn't always give a good seal, but it's fine for like pressure cooking vegetables and broth for canning after the fact, right? Yeah, Wherever. Presto canner, pressure regulator. Type this into Amazon. Worth every penny. Okay. Okay. Oh, and I also there's a storefront there for the books that I read on, the books I've been reading on Beverly Wolfie's reading channel. I should be snapping beans, shouldn't I? My goodness. It's going to be hard to let those canners cool down naturally, but please, folks, don't rapid cool your canners. The cooling process is a part of the canning process. Okay? So, don't jiggle the weight. Don't immerse it in cold water. And for God's sakes, do not try and take the lid off until you can put your hands on the side of the canner and count 1 Mississippi all the way to 5. Okay? That's when it's cool enough to open, but still open it away from your face. I posted a picture of how my overpriced chest freezer came to me. You posted it where, sweetheart? You posted it where, sweetie? On the Connected Hearts Facebook page. I'll be so glad. I'm so glad that those 2 canners are done, because that means I only have 1 more canner to go, and then I'm gonna. Oh, that's Gracie Scratch, and I was wondering if someone was coming up the front steps. I will, if you can think of anything that you think I should recommend, right? Then let me know and I'll put it on the Amazon list so you can at least get an idea of what I'm talking about. You don't have to buy from there. You don't have to buy from there because the prices are nuts. But what, Grace? And they're also in Canadian, so you just have to get them in American, I guess. Nobody's knocking at the door, dummy. That was your own elbow hitting the floor as you scratched. Wait a second. Overpriced chest freezer came to me. Where did you get it from? I haven't seen it. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can see it on Facebook. Well, I can't find Facebook right now. Crushed corner, even plate for cord put on backwards. Where did you get it from? Oh my God, Pat McLean, that's a picture of me a long time ago. And it was back before I had a mobile phone. So my friend actually took that with a camera. And I had it developed. And it's like, Andrew and I were always having a blast in the bakery. Andrew and I. I mean, we worked that counter like a well-oiled machine when the train was in. I tell you. But it's not a very good quality picture because it's dim, and it was dim in there. But you should have seen how we decorated it for Christmas. I had a love-hate relationship with that place. This is really sore. I had a love-hate relationship with that place because I loved my job, but I hated how I wasn't allowed to do it to the best of my ability or to the quality that the customers deserved. That's why I quit. They should have never let me in the kitchen. They should never have let me in the kitchen. Excuse me. I need my hands to function. I still have a quilt to finish. Oh, there goes my fan. There is nothing happening behind the pretty big fan. Oh, excuse me. So, I've changed my mind. Hey, is anybody having trouble when they order stuff and it not arriving at all? Like, I've ordered 2 t-shirts. One I ordered in July, the first week of July. I haven't got it yet. And one I ordered back in April, I think. And they're just not arriving. I've ordered my Mucinex from Walmart too. And you know how I got my cough syrups? My Mucinex has not arrived. So I'm going to have to go now and find out, go through my PayPal and find out, you know, backtrack and find out, you know, where all the shit is, right? Like I ordered kitty cat fabric. I didn't cheap out. I ordered it's a jewel, what they call a jewel pack, and it's 40 5-inch squares, all of it cat prints, kitty cat prints, because I gotta make my grandkitties their quilts, right? So that's coming, and they're gonna get their quilts, and they're gonna get they're each gonna get one of these gloves for mommy and daddy. I mean, I bet you if they even just put these on a like a cone or something, the cats would just do that. I mean, I want to play with it, okay? So I haven't got my Mucinex yet. I haven't. Yeah, I got Arthur and Mel's t-shirts, Mel's bracelet. I haven't got Briar's t-shirt. I haven't got Howard's t-shirt. Yeah, I ordered them off of Facebook. You know the t-shirt that says, "Sorry, but I'm taken. I'm married to a woman born in January, and she scares me a little sometimes. Blah 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 blah. But if you mess with me, you know, they'll never find your body." Yes, she bought me this shirt. So I got one for Howie that says I'm married to, and then I got one for Briar that says these guys will never watch these videos. So the one for Briar says I am the proud son of a crazy January mom, you know, and the whole thing repeats itself, and they'll never find your body. And yes, she bought me this shirt. Flippin' peeved over not getting orders. Sandals ordered in March, still not here. Well, I finally got. Did I show you these? I finally got these. These came in the mail. I ordered these in March. These are the balls for starting rootstock from trees, and I'm going to. I got my money back for the apricot tree that died, and I'm going to fill these with. I'm going to rootstock some of the branches off. It's called air layering. You fill these balls with moss, peat moss, or sphagnum moss, whatever, and then you peel off a section of a tree branch, and you do this in the spring when the buds are just starting to open, the leaf buds, right, or the flower buds. All right, when you're starting to see the buds about to open, you take a branch about that long and with new growth, right, and you cut off the bark all the way around in an inch wide strip down to the green, right? Then if you want, you can put some rooting gel on there, but I'll probably use some aloe vera. And then you clamp this, you fill this both sides with dirt, you clamp this around, and you zip tie it, or whatever, right? You zip tie it, and this is so that you can water it. And then what happens in about 14 days, you take the zip ties off and open it, and where you've peeled the bark is a set of roots. And then you cut it off the tree, right? But that's rootstock, and they take years to get to sellable size. So I may do myself a bunch of little apricot trees and a bunch of little pear trees And then once they're rooted, keep them in pots for the winter. Like keep them in pot, like plant them in 3-gallon pots. And then the next year, if they are alive, sell them as, rootstock trees, right? Or just plant them because I'm greedy. But I mean, here I've been buying fruit trees and all I had to do was clone them. So I'm still waiting for, what else did I order? Yeah, my Mucinex, Howie's t-shirt, Breyer's t-shirt. I just ordered the fabric jewels. Oh, and my 2 dehydrators. My 2 dehydrators that I ordered from Wayfair. But I showed you in that link to the Amazon thing that the kind of dehydrators I use. Well, yeah. I mean, so what if they're just rootstock trees and they'll take a while and they've got to be pampered, right? But I mean, seriously, I think I might just fill some 5-gallon pots and come winter, put them in the greenhouse and just wrap them with straw and burlap around their pots, right? So that I can overwinter them in the greenhouse because it's not heated. And in a couple of years, I bet you in like 2 years, I could probably, say, oh, small apricot trees, $25. I'd probably go right out the door in a heartbeat, right? Exactly. They can take up to 10 years to produce fruit. Well, guess what? In 10 years, I'm going to be 66 years old. Pretty sure I'm still going to be at the canner. And I have one apricot tree that's 12 feet tall. And it blossoms beautifully every year. But guess what? Its mate died. And then the replacement I got for it this year died. So I'm going to clone it, right? I don't care if it doesn't produce fruit. If it eventually produces blossoms for the other, just to pollinate the other tree, right? Its mother tree. Just the journey of trying the trees will be exciting to see. Well, there you go. See? I mean, guys, I gotta have stuff to keep me engaged with life. And I can't think of anything more engaging with life than working with animals and plants. And I'm getting rid of the animals. I'm gonna be butchering those 5 chickens and rooster. Right? And they're going to be canned. I will have quarts and quarts and quarts and quarts and quarts and quarts of chicken in broth. So I ordered and paid for a small chest freezer the 1st of April, still not here. Well, they're using all the excuses of COVID, right? They're using COVID for all the... I have to blow my nose. It's itchy. Excuse me. And I have to make garlic sauce because I want to be able to make, I've got my pickled turnips, right? So I have to make garlic sauce, but I'm like canning and dehydrating. I don't really have time. Like I said to Breyer, do you want a garlic sauce chicken pizza? And he goes, oh, hell yeah. I said, then do me a favor and squeeze that bag of lemons and peel that bag of garlic. And he went, oh, I don't want it that bad. You know what I mean? So I know. Oh, I've needed to sit down. I'll tell you that. I've needed to do this, even if it means sitting here snapping beans while we talk. But yeah, I have to go back and look through my receipts. Thank God I saved them, right? Because how many people get ripped off and they've, because of this COVID thing, have ordered so much stuff that they forget they've ordered it. You know what I mean? Like Howie said, the only thing Howie said is no more stuff from Wish. No more, you know what I mean? He said no more direct shipping anything from China, Bev. It's just not it's just not smart, right? Where's Steven? Hey! Hey, sweetheart, how's it going? I have 30 pints of beans in 2 canners. I've just shut them off, and I'm probably going to get another canner load. So we are well good. Well, I'm going to have between 40 and 45. God willing, nothing happens to the ones I've got in the canner right now, or the ones I'm about to do. But if this all goes well, I should have between 40 and 45 pints of beans, and that'll do Howie and I 2 years. Getting ready to heat up crabapple juice to make jelly. I've got to reboil 6 half-pint jars of my current jelly because it didn't set. The first batch didn't set. And yeah, I'm going to do a pantry tour. I've decided not to be paranoid. So as soon as I think I took a picture, I hope I took a picture of how empty my pantry was. I should have it on video somewhere, but that was months ago, right? God only knows. You know, everything's a video in my house half the time. Well, not everything, obviously. Cheese and crackers. Get your minds out of the gutter. But I will do a pantry tour just to show you, because this year I am a juggernaut. I'm just an unstoppable. Okay, maybe not, right? But this year, I am canning in earnest. I can get a refund, but still won't have the freezer. Well, then just order it again, sweetheart. Right? Or get your refund and go get one from the department store. Or order one from the brick or something. Right? Just pay for it. So I have discovered, I think I said this a couple of days ago, a big butternut squash in my pantry, and I'm not in the mood for butternut squash right now, so I'm going to bake that off and can it or dehydrate it. I haven't decided yet. It'll have to do in the place of pumpkins, unless I go to the farmer's market and there will hopefully be pumpkins. Bev, canning up. So I saw the ratatouille pasta sauce. Rose jelly. Are you using rose hips? And bread and butter, and then I'll be done for the day. Oh my God. You know, man, oh man, Stephen. Man, oh man. I hear you though. I mean, I want my pantry bursting. I want my pantry bursting and my freezer. I have 3 plastic shopping bags full of broth. So as soon as these beans are done, oh no, I can't even do that because I haven't done my carrots yet. Is Cindy Howard in here yet? Well, now to dehydrate pumpkin, if you want it for okay? Do you want it for pumpkin powder, Terry? Oh shoot, I'm not putting all my... I ended up with a tin like this full of the bean ends. That's why I'm saving them. The broth's going to be nuts this year. I've got 9 more celery bunches to chop and blanch for dehydrating, and then I've got my garden celery to can. Jarred up rose water earlier in the season. So you make a jelly out of it? Wow, that's fancy schmancy. All the city folks will think that's just crazy. I'm not laughing at you. I just think it's amazing. You know, you're brilliant when it comes to ideas. But are you okay, Terry? Yes, for pumpkin powder. Okay. Make sure, I'm doing it too. Make sure, okay, that when you puree the pumpkin, you know how to like cut them in half, hollow them out, cook them upside down on a cookie sheet so that the water comes out. Ice cream scoop, put them in a blender, and then for every cup of pumpkin, add a half a cup of water. All right? And puree it more. You want that stuff liquid, because if you dehydrate it too thick, Good luck trying to grind it. That was the first lesson I ever learned. It didn't make sense to add water when you're trying to dehydrate, but it does when it gets you to you want it the consistency of baby food. That's how it can before you start drying it, okay? All right, just in case, I don't know if you've ever done it before or not, but I'm just in one of those moods where I want to help everybody. All right? Every time I look into the holy book, I want to tremble. When I get to the part where the carpenter cleared the temple. Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I say when the carpenter cleared the temple? Just out of curiosity. And honestly, that's the only part of the song I know. This is the beginning in that one verse. Only 20 plus case canned up this week. I thought, why do you need more jars? Because when you sell stuff, the jar goes with it. So, I mean, you know what you should do? You should talk to a jar company. And when the video is done, talk to a jar company. When the video I do is done, show them the video and say, hey, what kind of deal can you give me? I go through hundreds of jars a year. It can't hurt, right? Right? Yes, it's break time. Absolutely break time. Where's my fan? Oh no! Where's my phone? I love Jack Black. I love Jack White too. From the White Stripes. If I was a cougar, Jack White from the White Stripes would have been my. But then, as this somewhat mature woman, it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson the whole way. I mean, I could run if I was thinner. I'd run barefoot over that body. I would just say, "Let me walk all over your body." Yes, it's break time. Order a pallet of jars from a jar company. Yeah. I cannot wait until I can get my dehydrator pumping. When are you getting it? I thought you were getting it like this weekend. Take care, life. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Vin Diesel, Matthew McConaughey, Robert Downey Jr., Johnny Depp in his heyday. Yes, ignore the woman who's dreaming behind the pretty pink fan. Thank you, God, for marijuana, or I wouldn't be sitting here snapping beans. Hey, Yarn Prepper, how's it going, honey? I'm still snapping beans. Sam Elliott. I mean, you know, just let me lay my head on Sam Elliott's chest and he can just read Dr. Zeus for all I care. Just let me listen. All right? I used to have a thing for Tommy Lee Jones. I kind of still love that crusty old ass. I'm an older woman, okay, guys? If I started talking about, you know, young guys like Jack White, you know, from the White Stripes, you would think me, you know, an old pervy lady. Plus, then they try to give you shitty lids on top Of it, no name brands. Okay, wait a second. Oh, Sunday. Okay. What do you mean? Are you saying... I missed something here. Order a pallet. Yep, I have. Price is still too high. Wow. Well, honey, you're going to spend the winter going to thrift stores, aren't you? If you were closer, I would wait a second. I have a couple of cases of jars that I haven't even opened yet. They're my emergency stash. I mean, when I left Colburn, I left behind over 300 jars. Some of them crown jars with the zinc lids, the glass inserts, and the rubber rings. Those things are still usable today. How do you keep oxygen absorbers if you can't use them right away? I don't have a vacuum sealer. Put them in a plastic bag and suck all the air out. That's the only way I can think of. Wow, Bev, what? What did I do? Did I fart? What? Oh, yeah, I have a feeling. I got a feeling deep inside. Oh, yeah. That I'm probably going to use most of my jars this year. Because I am not, like, I don't can a huge variety. Sorry, Mary Jane. I'm here. I don't can a huge variety of things, but I do can a large quantity of the things that I do, like beans. 40 jars, that's the minimum. When I can beans, it's got to be at least 40 jars, right? I don't know if I'm going to can tomatoes this year. I always do, but then I end up, for all the work, they don't last because I eat them every day. So I might as well just, buy cans when I need them, right? But the cans I have of tomatoes and the cans of sauce I have, they're all going to get, again, rotated into spaghetti sauce that's chock-a-block full of vegetables. Yeah, I left all those jars. When we moved to Quebec, we moved with a pickup truck into a one-bedroom apartment with 2 children. I cleaned the halls of that apartment to help pay for the rent. Howie did work on the building to help pay for the rent. My kids had the bedroom, and we had a long, thank God, living room. So that had 2 entrances, one from the kitchen and one from the living room. So we put our couch as a divider, and then we put our bed behind the couch. And then we had a half decent sized living room, right? So, I mean, we lived like that till we bought our next house. And then, well, hell, we went bankrupt and everything. But when we moved, I couldn't move 300 jars, 300 plus, I'm going to say 60 of them were crown jars with glass lids, rings, and zinc, or glass inserts, rings, and zinc lids. Because they were given to me, nobody used them. I used them. If for nothing other than pickles, I always used them. Yeah, all those jars. And, but I have just that many now. My one side of my pantry is almost wall-to-wall jars. They just get rotated around, right? I have 3 half-gallon jars of old sour flour out there that I've got to empty. Because when I can my veg broth next, after I do carrots, when I can my veg broth next, I'm going to do it in quart jars. And then I'm still going to save up veg for when I'm going to leave a bag of veg, of assorted veg, like celery, carrots, stuff like that. um, ends and bits for when I butcher the birds. Over 75 different items put in a jar per season. I put all my dehydrating in jars too, right? And I'm kind of ticked. I'm gonna wait for see if I can find leeks on sale somewhere because I haven't had a good. They didn't do it all this year for me, right? So, hey, Tony DeLuca, how are you, my love? So once I'm done canning these beans, I'll be chopping celery and dehydrating the last 9 bunches that I have. Then I'll start canning mine. Yes, I'm going to videotape that. And then I got to start dehydrating carrots. And I may have to go through my onion bag because it looks like the onions look nice and firm, but I think they're older than they look. How do you keep flour from going bad? I freeze it. I freeze it in the bags. And if you've got a vacuum sealer, you can buy 5-pound bags when they go on sale. Put them in your freezer, or slide them right inside a vacuum seal bag, vacuum seal them, and put them in your freezer. I buy the big bags, they go in the freezer, then they come out of the freezer, then they get put into individual bags and they go back in the freezer. I don't can my flour anymore. It's a waste of time and energy. And someone said, "Oh, you must have a lot of freezer space." Well, yeah, there's only 2 of us that live here, right? And I have a full-size freezer and a half-size freezer, and I have a kitchen drawer freezer in my fridge. Yeah, I freeze mine. What'll still work later? Can you dehydrate already cooked food? That is not a stupid question, Elizabeth. When I dehydrate chicken for instant meals, I use my canned chicken. You can do it with any other kind of cooked chicken, but for some reason, the canned chicken holds its shape and flavor better, okay? But yeah, absolutely. If you have cans of, or not jars, but tin cans of like beans and stuff and corn and stuff that are coming up on their date, dump them, rinse them, dehydrate them, save them, just dehydrate them to save them, right? But don't canned food unless it's like tomatoes and stuff, because you just lose all the nutrition, right? Leeks did not do well this year, so I'm really hoping to get my hands on some leeks, because my pantry my dry goods don't seem complete without, onions, garlic, and leeks, right? Those are like my mainstays kind of thing. I'm a prepper and didn't know it till YouTube. I thought of that. I thought I was a prepper, but I'm not really a prepper. I'm just forward thinking. I'm far thinking. I'm just taking stuff back to the way my grandmother did them. Ooh, that's not a good bean. It's limp. Don't want no limp things. That bone will last her for years. She's really excited. Last night I was on the Cooking with Cannabis live stream, and she I'm talking, and I said, "Oh, go get your bone," right? I wasn't thinking. I just thought she'd go and play with it, right? A couple minutes later, you hear thump. She brought it in. Briar was laughing at her, going, "Gracie, careful, lift it slow. You're gonna tip forward." Her back legs would come up off the floor. If that bone was any bigger, right? He said, "Well, what kind of bone is?" I said, "It's a beef bone, Briar. It's a beef bone. It's a leg bone." Remember to ask your questions to Bev in all caps and chat between each other in lowercase. Thank you, Furby. Does flour expire in the freezer? Not that I've ever seen. Right? The one bag, the all-purpose flour that I bagged up and refroze, that's been in there since the fall. Right? Obviously, I'll use it first before I break into my fresh frozen organic flour. But, uh-oh, where did my pop-out chat go? There you are. That is what I've always done, Bev. Think ahead. Works for me. I have not titles except wife, mother, grandmother, etc. Yeah, I always thought of myself as a prepper or a homesteader. No, I'm just I say I'm a traditionalist. A back to basics kind of living type person. But I'm getting too old to go around foraging and crap, right? So I figure if I can keep my gardens going over the years, it'll keep me moving, right? I may not push through, and I may have to change things up as I get older about how I do things, how I garden, how I do animals, whatever the case may be, right? But I'm still changing it up to accommodate the facts that I can continue to do it. And that's what I think that's what people are missing is the old Bev who could butcher a pig and you know, milk goats and wrestle goats and shit like that. That woman just doesn't exist anymore. Howie looks after my birds. I'm not doing birds after this year but I'm planning on I've got 5 chickens and 1 rooster, and I'm planning on putting 3 in each of my big canners and filling them right full of water and veg and making really, oh yeah, keep singing, buddy. And I'm gonna make I am hoping to get at least 20 quarts of broth with a bit of chicken in the bottom, because those are my soup starters all year long. Is it hard to can peaches? They are on sale right now, 77 cents a pound. Wow. Hi, Susan. Yes and no. It's a fussy thing. It's not difficult. You know, you have to know how to peel them. You need to like cut a little X in the bottom of the peach, like on the opposite of the stem end, little X, and then you drop them into boiling water until you see the X start to peel back just a little bit, and then you spoon them out and drop them into ice water. Then you peel them and you cut them in half, scoop out the seed and the red part, and then can them in a heavy simple syrup water bath can. I'd say if you put them in hot jars and your simple syrup is hot, I'm going to say 25 minutes for quarts. How'd I do, Steven? Is Steven still here? Yes, babe. So I consider myself a traditionalist also. Yeah. I mean, it just kind of makes sense, right? Why put a label on something that's been around ever since we figured out how to preserve food, right? Why? We just keep doing things, you know, more simply, but keep doing them. Don't leave them out altogether. This is really important knowledge to have. Freestone peaches. There you go. 6-pound cans of different veggies for $2.50. Expiration 2023. You know what? You might want to dehydrate them if you can. I mean, that's pretty good. But by the time they hit their expiration date, and I don't always listen to expiration dates, but when it comes to cans, I'm a little funny, right? I got a few t-shirts from the site that sell those t-shirts. Did you? I steam juice my peaches and make jelly with the juice and make peach butter with the pulp. Okay, I have to ask you this. Is it worth getting a steam juicer? Is it worth it? Like, am I just, you know, cooking my berries and running them through a bag and stuff? Am I just making too much work for myself? $45 for a bushel of peaches. That's a good price. That's a good price. What I hate is going and buying peaches and the top of the basket looks really nice until you get to the bottom. The last time I did peaches, I bought them from a farmer's market in Peterborough, I believe. 45 bucks, that's not bad. I paid $40 for half to 3/4 of a bushel of beans. Like 25 pounds of beans. All right, Patty, you take care, honey. Oh my God, it's 10 to 4. Well, we've been on here over an hour, and I have got to finish these up, and then I got to start chopping celery, and then I've got to can these, and then I got to blanch. You get the picture. So, happy birthday. I know I sang it yesterday, but happy birthday to Patricia Furia today. Everybody keep her in your thoughts. Have them let you transfer them into an empty bushel to check. Good thinking chaos. If I buy them in the store and they're like the little baskets where there's 6 on top, 6 below, I just go through all the baskets until I know that the peaches in the baskets, but I don't do them that often. I'm the only one who really likes peaches. All right. Oh. Okay. For all those who care to, please help me close with a spiritual hug. This is a non-denominational prayer or plea to the higher power of your understanding. Don't let the fact that I call my higher power God flinch you away from adding your positive energy to the belt we send out to the universe every day. Okay? So, nice deep breath. Hey God, it's us connected hearts. Thank you, God, for the beans. I know it's a lot of work, but I'm so grateful to have them. And thank you for keeping me functional enough to fill my pantry this year. It's going well. Please, God, look after our friend Jatan and her husband, who's been very, very ill, and they just keep sending him home. And they still don't know really what's going on. Please look after Patricia, and please, God, remind Edie not to do too much. Look after all of our friends and loved ones across the YouTube world and here in our connected hearts. I give them to you. But God, there's a lot of people in this world who are alone and frightened or feel alone, and it frightens them, who are neglected or rejected, elderly, ill, frightened, addicted, or dealing with addiction, or dealing with abusive relatives. Okay? God, there's a lot of people out there that don't know that they can turn to you and turn their face and say, you take it, God. I can't handle it anymore. Yeah, I know. I've used some pretty colorful language with you, God, but you get me, and that's all that matters. So, God, we just want to lift all these souls up to you and let your love shine down upon them. And maybe for those whose faith has been lost, it will reawaken. And maybe for those people who don't know if faith is possible for them, maybe the seed will be planted. And for the people that don't have any faith at all, Let your daily little miracles creep into their heart to show them your face. In this we pray. Amen. Shalom. Namaste. Amen. Merry meet. Blessed be. Miigwech. Whatever your salutation is, let it be spoke in love, honesty, and earnestness. Okay? Because even if you don't always have a faith, you just got to keep acting as if you do until you fake it till you make it, right? This is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead saying, thank you, God. My knees are still functional. I have more beans to can. Take care. God bless.